Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this version. And I just came on to talk about the rescheduling we had to do this evening. For those of you who might have expected a conversation tonight at 7 with the Honorable Vernon L. Tillage, City Councilman for the City of Portsmouth. And he was scheduled to be on tonight at 7 p.m. to talk about his reelection bid and other important topics concerning the city of Portsmouth. And unfortunately, we couldn't get on. We had a technical glitch that kept us from going on. And, you know, of course, and we tried for about a half an hour, waited about a half an hour, hoping that we could figure it out. Didn't know if it was Wi Fi or the internet or what it was at the time. I tried everything I knew what to do here. And of course, after a few minutes ago, I figured out what the problem was within the platform, the StreamYard platform I use. Uh, a particular setting I had, uh, there was an issue there, and didn't know it at the time. And all I had to do was switch a button, and we could go on. But things happen for a reason, so we're going to reschedule. Uh, Councilman Tillage. I was really looking forward to having that conversation with him tonight. And of course, earlier today or this morning, had a conversation with the Honorable Catherine Kitty Bryant, who is a sitting council person on this in the city of Portsmouth. And she's not running for reelection, but she came on to talk about some things. And this is her first year, and we talked from budget to budget when she came on. Last year, she experienced her first budget for the city, and she just recently finished, well, a few months ago with the second budget, which they voted on in May. And here we are, and we'll let you know. Stay tuned for the rescheduling of Councilman Tillage. Looking forward to that conversation and giving him an opportunity to talk about his reelection bid and other things. And I promise you it's going to be very informative, a very informative conversation, as well as interesting, with Councilman Tillage. Very busy councilman we have up here, and I think he's one of the youngest that we've had on council. And uh, really was involved early on in his young years, younger years, while he was a student at ODU, being involved with different organizations, and later working for Senator Louise Lucas. Uh, you can't beat the kind of experience that you can get from working with Senator Lucas up in Richmond and here in the city of Portsmouth and other y'all podcast network. So stay tuned for those two rescheduling. And why I have you here, I'd like to thank Cat, the, the Honorable Catherine Kitty Bryant for coming on this morning and sharing some great information with me, as well as Mark Hugel. We've had him on maybe about a week ago in his reelection bid, and also sharing, and as a sitting member of City Council, sharing some for you to participate by making comments or asking questions during real time when the council people are here. So, and I also like to thank the Honorable Yolanda Evans Thomas. She was a guest on, just like she came on the same time as Councilwoman Bryant, and we talked to her about similar issues, her experience from budget to budget, and some of the goals she has for the city going forward, and some of the things that's going on, uh, her feelings about certain issues. And also like to thank Tamala Shoemate for coming on. She's a school board member. Uh, she's campaigning for her third term. I believe her third term to be a third term. School board members' work is never done. At some point it is, but it takes a while for them to see a lot of the issues that are of interest to them come to fruition. And so sometimes they have to do one, two, three, or maybe four terms. It all depends on what you want. If you still want them there, and they still have the desire to serve. So I wish all of them well. Of course, we won't be endorsing any of them here. Just want to give everybody an opportunity to come on, and any of the candidates that are running for re-election, or the new candidates that are running for a seat, one of the three seats in each of the bodies, four seats for school board and three for city council. If you want to be my guest, to come up here and share your platform and talk about other issues that you feel are important and that will help people when they start vetting the candidates and decide who they want to represent them on the two different boards, or uh, school board and the city council. So make sure you contact me if you want to be on. Uh, I- I'll leave it up to you if you want to be a part of the City Talk with Slim and have an opportunity to share your information. And I want to talk to city council members who are not running. Uh, Often you want to hear from them as well when they're not running for office, and it gives you an opportunity to hear uh, explanations about their votes and their feelings about certain issues in more detail by tuning in to this show. So we're gonna have Dr. Dotson on. We waiting to schedule him, and hopefully, all we Bill Moody will come on. Everybody is welcome, and it's not just going to be confined to elected officials in the city of Portsmouth. We're going to be talking to, and we have already talked to, other elected officials throughout the Hampton Road. Talked to the mayor from Hampton, talked to a city council person from Newport News. I have on the 18th of this month, I have a Gail Gilmore scheduled. She's running for city council. She has run for school board, I believe, twice. Unfortunately, she wasn't successful there, but she decides now to uh, try her bid for city council. And I guess it's one of those things that, even though she wasn't successful on the school board, but that gives you the experience on uh, how to run. Chesapeake is a very uh, large city and landmass, which makes it a difficult task for someone running to make sure they reach all the different people that they need to reach to secure enough votes to be elected. So looking forward to having Gail on the show. I say Gail because she is a good friend of mine, and I think I had her or I interviewed her when she was running for school board. So we're looking forward to talking to her and other people throughout the Hampton Roads area who are presently uh, serving on school boards or city council, uh, or running for re-election. So just want to get the word out and make sure that I have give those people an opportunity to come on. I love talking to elected officials and getting their uh, feedback on different issues that are sometimes unique to their cities and sometimes and issues that all the cities, 7 cities in Hampton Roads are experiencing, such as crime and how important regionalism is to all of the 7 cities that here. Each of the 7 cities has their own niche. So it's important that they have a relationship with each other to make sure, and a lot of times they learn from each other from different projects that one city might have. How did that work for you? And maybe it will work for us, or maybe it doesn't. We'll go a different route because of the nature of our city. So that's important. So I'm looking forward to the city talk with Slim and not also talking to non-elected officials, people that serves on boards and commissions. I want to talk to them and the citizens out. I want to talk to you as well from the different cities. I always want to get the perspective of the citizens, how they feel about what's going on. And a lot of citizens out there have really great solutions for issues that they see or are surrounded by every day. And that's why uh, the elected officials should listen to the citizens. And sometimes they don't get the opportunity to listen to every citizen. So this is an opportunity for citizens to come up. And I know if you uh, talk about how you feel about your city or what should be going on, or how you feel about certain votes that your elected officials make. And, you know, it's an open book here. And we want you to be transparent with, uh, with your concerns, your questions, and just having a general conversation with me. And I can assure you that a lot of the officials will see this, or I will share the conversation with them so they can make sure they see it. The more citizens they hear from, the better choices they might make that might be in your best interest. And I also know that most elected officials, well, I can pretty much say all elected officials, want to hear from and it's not always possible. You know, sometimes through the emails, or not everybody can make the city council meetings. But you can come on a a show like this, a podcast like this, and have that conversation, and it's shared on YouTube, Facebook, and some other platforms where somebody's going to see it. Somebody's going to notice your concern, and maybe something can be done about it. And go on as many, I tell this about all the elected officials, go on as many of these kind of platforms or shows as possible so you can reach as many people as possible. You want to get those voting percentages up. So when you can feel comfortable, when you elected to office, you make a pretty good showing of really uh, representing all the people of your city. You're going to do that anyway when you're elected. But when you can see that the percentage of people that voted for you is pretty high, that's a pretty good indication that people are getting out there and people are engaged and concerned about what happens in their city by the way they vote. And your vote is your voice. Uh, you can have your voice out there and complain and talk all you want to, but unless you vote, you get what you vote for, and if you don't vote, you get what everybody else votes. And it might not be, what you really want. So make sure you get out there and vote, and make sure you take the opportunity to come on shows like this and have a conversation. Most people say, "What would I say?" Once you get up here and start talking, it flows. I'm telling you. But trust me, I've seen it happen with many people uh, coming on. Just think they needed 15 minutes. That's all they needed. That's all they had to say. was about 15 minutes worth of discussion, and we end up having to cut them off at an hour. Or sometimes we go past the hour. So, it's something I really enjoy here. And before I tune out, make sure you also watch some of our other shows that are under the YouTube channel of Portsmouth Coffee Talk Podcast Network. And of course, City Talk with Slim is one of them. And the, the Slim Nation one-on-one experience. That's where I have a real deep down and personal one-on-one conversation with people about a variety of subjects. Mostly, I really like talking to authors, especially local authors that we have here, because you can see behind me, I like books. And when we have people that are local here that decide, I believe everybody has something to say or has a story that they could put in a book. Doesn't have to be a thick book like War and Peace. That book is like this, that thick. And after one chapter, you have to take a break. So, um, yes, if you're an author here locally and out of state, out of the state of Virginia, you're from Portsmouth, from Hampton Roads originally, and you want to talk to us, just let me know. You can see the information going across the screen there where you can support us if you like, or you can contact us and say, I want to be a guest on your show. I would like to be a guest on your show because I have something to say. And we'll do our best to schedule it to your liking. We're Eastern Standard Time here, but we will work with people. We've had people as guests that are as far away as Korea. And so we had to work that out. So neither one of us were up too late or up too early. And so we're willing to work in a different time, like like Texas and many other states. We've had people on here from Texas that had to get up a little early. So we tried to be aware of the different time zones, try to accommodate the guests that are different time zones. So it's comfortable for them. So, thanks. And the last thing I started to say, but I went off on another tangent, not a tangent, but went off talking about something else. Make sure every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. that you watch our Take On featuring Slim and Shoney. And that's the show that I do with one of my high school classmates, class of 1972 of IC Norfolk. She lives in Atlanta now, and we do a show virtually where I'm here in the city of Portsmouth, and she's in Atlanta. We call it from P-Town to ATL. And we have conversations with people, persons, or groups of people about different issues. Uh, some of them, a lot of them are human interest stories. A lot of them are experiences that people have gone through health wise. And also, we talk to authors on that side as well. So tune in every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. for our take on Slim and Show. And we are on YouTube live as well as many Facebook pages. My personal Facebook page, Slim Nation Facebook page, and we have a Facebook page for our take on it that we are on as well. So look forward to seeing you there, and thank you everybody for watching. And I am disappointed we didn't get burning, but things work out the way they should because thunderstorm is coming through. You probably would have heard more of that than our conversation, you know. So we will be back with you with the Honorable Vernon L. Tillage and um, at another date. Probably will be next week, either in Monday morning or Monday evening or Tuesday. Well, it won't be next week, Tuesday, because I have a scheduled test for that. So I have to remind him. Okay, take care, everybody, and make sure that you be aware, be informed, and most of all, that you are involved. Take care. This is Slim Over. We'll see you next. Be our guest on the Portsmouth